good. Here we go. 1970 Chevrolet El Camino. Driveline in this particular pickup, it's a non-original 350, but it runs extremely well. And then the transmission is a 700R4 overdrive, so you have that fourth gear, so hopping on the highway, super easy and comfortable to do in this particular truck. The mechanicals feel spot on. Motor has plenty of power. Transmission shifts nice and positive up and down through all the gears. Power steering, power disc brakes in the front. And this particular El Camino has Hotchkiss rear upper control arms. And then it has your standard front and rear sway bars. So the drivability does everything you want it to do out on the open road. Factory heat and AC both work. And really impressive car to drive. Right now we're doing right about 70, and it's a very easy, comfortable 70 miles an hour. It's very tight, very responsive as far as the brakes and also the steering. I'd have no problem hopping in this and going wherever you'd want to go. Really nice and quiet on the inside here. The wind noise is at a very minimum. You have a very, very small amount from the vent glass. But for vent glass, it's really nice and quiet in here. Overall, the interior is really nice and clean. If I had to nitpick anything, right underneath me, right where I'm sitting, I'd say the seat is broken down just a little bit, but it's still a very comfortable seat to sit in. It's nothing that I'd want to go replace or even redo. I could just say, just sitting here, you can kind of feel it that you sink in just a little bit. The gauges are really nice and easy to read. The vents for the AC all look in good shape. Nothing's cracked or broken. You have your standard heat and AC controls there right above the radio. It does have an aftermarket Kenwood stereo in it, and it does have an aftermarket temperature gauge under the dash. But overall, it's going to be stock other than that. Only other thing I forgot to mention was your remote mirror over here. The little arm is kind of broken off, so someone would have to replace that, but that's pretty simple and easy to do. Can't get over how well this truck drives. Just a really easy classic car to hop in and cruise. After a couple minutes driving, we're doing about 160 degrees, so warmed up enough where we can hop on it here and do a little acceleration. Exhaust sounds really good. We're about half throttle right now and it's pulling good. Nice positive shift again. So, mechanicals are impressive. Really good cruising car. As far as the underneath goes, didn't find any metal work done. It is a really, really solid car. Floors, the frame rails, everything is really nice and clean underneath. Just a good, solid truck. I'm unsure exactly when all of the work was done. We do have a bunch of paperwork and receipts with miscellaneous dates on it, so it's kind of a question mark, but it's a little bit of an older done truck. The paint, if I had to put a number on it, I'd say maybe 15 years ago it was done. Still shows really nice. It's got a few little nicks. There's a couple small nicks on the front of the hood, little nick on the top of the tailgate, and then some just other miscellaneous little chips and imperfections down low from it being driven. You could tell it's been enjoyed. When they did all the cosmetic work, they did a nice job. It's just not fresh at this point. Like I mentioned just a second ago, the paperwork that we have on this, we have a large binder of all the receipts, or excuse me, a bunch of receipts for work done on this particular El Camino. That binder will go with the truck. Glass is all really nice. The windshield looks good. The side glass looks really good. It very well could be the original glass. Minor little scuffs on the side glass, but minimal at best. Wheels and tires are in great shape. As far as El Caminos go, it's definitely one of the nicer ones that I've had. When it comes to El Caminos, it kind of seems like it's a love-hate relationship with the people when we post these. The guys that love El Caminos, it's what they want, it's what they're searching for, and they know what they're looking at. And then you have the people that are like, man, those are the ugliest things I've ever seen. I would never own one. It's just one of those personal preference things. As far as my inventory goes, I have no problem keeping one, maybe two El Caminos. Same thing with a Ford Ranchero. I'll keep a Ranchero from 1970 to 1973. I've sold a bunch of those as well. When it comes to the El Caminos, the 70 to the 72 seem to be the ones that I like to buy. Those are the ones that sell. Specifically a 70, just like a 70 Chevelle in that body style, 70 to 72. The 70 is going to be the most popular. Everyone wants the 4 headlights. So that's why I bought this particular truck. It came out of Texas, so good solid truck. It wasn't far from us. It actually came out of Fort Worth, or the Fort Worth area, so it wasn't hard to get it up to us, and it was already a really clean one. We didn't have to do a whole lot to it when it got here. But I like to keep one, maybe two, depending on what they are. But as far as years go, 70 El Camino is definitely the best selling El Camino, at least from my experience. Something I didn't touch on was the back on the exterior. A lot of the time the beds will be really beat up on these. People actually used them. This one's got a few little dings in the bed, but as far as a truck goes, the bed floor actually is in pretty nice shape. It does not have a spray-in bed liner, which I prefer. Looks like it was painted the same time as the rest of the exterior, so it all kind of matches the overall feel and vibe of the truck. Get on it a little bit harder here, you can hear the exhaust. Nice duals, headers, exhaust sounds really good. Going down our bumpy road here, the suspension feels really nice. It has that Hotchkiss rear, it has the Hotchkiss rear upper control arms and then the front and rear sway bar that I mentioned before. The suspension feels good. Nothing super high performance or nothing that really needs to be done, just all kind of stock style stuff. It has a stock driving feel to it. Motor's not a high performance 350, a good running motor, but it's not something you're gonna hop in and go do smoky burnouts or race anybody, but has enough power for you to cruise down the road and enjoy the car. And if you had to pass someone, it's got enough power to do that. Overall, feels like a really good El Camino. All right, last couple turns here. Get on it a little bit. Yeah, when you get up into the RPM range there, it starts pulling really good. Brakes feel nice and tight. Didn't shake, didn't shimmy. Definitely a good truck. Getting to be that point where I'm gonna be wanna getting to that point where I'm gonna want to start driving cars that only have air conditioning. It's getting hot here in Texas, but I will still do these test drives for you. I know everyone loves them, so I'll keep doing them even if they don't have air. I'll just sweat for y'all a little bit. All right, there we go. 70 El Camino.